Hawkfanatic.com. I'm a good zoo, not a bad zoo. Hawkfanatic.com, brought to you by Patrick Eads and his staff at Deary Brothers Ford on Mormon Trek. Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Mike's E-Keys for Cars. GT Car and his crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling. Supple's Flowers, home of 1-800-800-ROSE. The Midtown Family Restaurants. Harty and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City. Diamond Dreams Sports Academy. Senior Benefits. Premier Automotive in North Liberty. The Oxyokin and the Amanas. Streets Maintenance, Remodeling and Plumbing. Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids, and Big Dog Tech Solutions. Here's Tom Suter and Pat Harty from Hawkfanatic.com.
We are here.
I am here.
You are here?
I am here.
That's good. We're glad you're here. Yeah. Mr. Hunter's doing well?
Yes, he is. Well, I put him to work anyway.
Yeah.
Because our sister station went.
What's he doing? A remote somewhere?
No, but at my house.
He's outside doing a remote.
He just put. I believe KFMH is back on the air.
Get him out in that 100-degree heat.
Test it out here. Yeah. They're rocking.
Yeah. Violation. I mean, we're gonna. I'll never have another podcast again. And just so I can segue into that, for our listeners and for the people reaching out to me on social media about our podcast, well, we have been suspended from Spotify for what they say are 2 violations that occurred in 2021 on this show. And the only clues they gave us is Rick Heller was a guest on one and Joey Woody was a guest on the other. And that's back when we were playing. Now we don't play music, but now we have to go through this, what looks like an incredibly annoying appeals process to try to get back on. Because like Rob Howe was supposed to have a podcast today with Mike Tree Henry, continuing our new basketball podcast, and he had to postpone it. I mean, we can't. And then we're supposed to have Lester on next week, and I mean, this is not a good thing. So
have you try calling that number too?
What is that number? Who is it?
It's Spotify's customer service.
It's okay. That's what I still I want to. Can we after the show we can go through this? Or
sure.
Why don't we do it on the air? It's mostly questions that they. One of the questions is why do you think you're not in violation? And my answer would be, well, I didn't know I was in violation. And is there anywhere in the process where it says the music that was in violation?
The form that I saw, there was no specifics whatsoever other than naming that it was 2
podcasts from 21
with Rick Heller and Joey Woody.
So, I mean, how are we supposed to know what violation?
Well, that's the problem. You don't know.
Okay. Here's what you say. These broadcasts came from a radio station that is licensed by BMI. We'll write it all down for you, but BMI, ASCAP, CSAC, and GMR. Okay? We pay for the rights. YouTube at one time accepted that.
And that was back in 21?
Yes. Now they don't.
And we haven't been playing music.
We haven't been playing music for the last 2.5 years. So that's number one. Number two, Spotify's nice and it's got a gazillion.
Well, they're buying everybody out.
Yeah, but they're not buying out the biggest forum right now. The biggest stage you can have is YouTube. That's the biggest stage you can have. It's on every television.
Yeah, but doesn't YouTube House usually have a video with it?
It can, but it doesn't need to.
What's going to be the 3 of us sitting here?
It doesn't need to. It can have a picture. It can have the Hawkfanatic logo that comes up.
Yeah, no, there's options too. And you're right. And then Rob brought up another thing is we could always just cancel this and restart another one with Hawkfanatic, but not called Hawkfanatic. And so there's options. This is just a pain in the ass.
It is a pain in the ass. Of course it is.
Yeah. I just think it's overreaction, but I get it. They're getting sued. And I've also heard that they're trying to eliminate a lot of small podcasts and just focus on big ones. And if that's the case, then just tell us. So, but this is from something that happened 4 years ago.
But see, the problem is we don't know
what we did,
what the violation was. So how, if we were to make moves to make sure it doesn't happen again,
how would we know?
We have to know
music.
what.
It's just the music.
So
probably so.
I'm blaming Heller and Joey Woody, don't you?
Yeah.
I think they had something to do with it. I'm kidding, of course. But
it's just the music.
Well, I think it's funny they tell us who the guest was on that day, but they don't tell us the violation.
You're talking to a machine, and the machine heard you say Joey Woody, or the machine heard you say Rick Heller. You're just
or maybe the machine heard them doing an interview.
But you're talking to a machine using AI, and that's it. And you've got to either call customer service and convince them.
Well, I think I'm going to do both. I'd like to do this appeal and call. We'll see how this, because I have a feeling this appeal, we're going to go do it. Rob says it looks like it'll take like 10 minutes to fill it out.
Rob's right.
But I make it wonder, though, we hit submit, and then we just sit around and wait?
That's
correct. I'll wait like a day or two. I'll give it 24 hours after. If I don't hear anything back, then I will call customer service. But no, then is iTunes a platform, too? Is
iTunes,
that a platform?
iTunes.
Is that where you can put podcasts?
Yeah, you can put that on, iTunes.
I mean, so who's Spotify's biggest competition? Anchor, they bought out.
Everybody's biggest competition, as far as the stage goes, is YouTube.
Even for podcasts?
Well, they have podcasts on it.
For everything.
Everything you do right now is going on YouTube and staying on YouTube. I mean, I can go back. You could go back to...
And that's something somebody could download on the phone and listen to while they're driving in their car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you put YouTube on your phone. You don't have to watch it. It'll come through the sound of your car. Hello.
Hello, good morning. I was wondering, could you go back and listen to those episodes and see what the violation might be?
I guess I could do a search and try to. I'm sure they're stored somewhere on the Hawkfanatic file, but I don't know.
Or they could be go back on YouTube.
On YouTube, but I wouldn't. I could listen to the whole thing, and how would I know what's the violation?
Well, that's I don't know. Look for a song that you might have.
That's it.
Well, we used to play music back then, so I'm.
Well, I mean, it makes no difference what the violation is. It is the music. It is the copyrighted music. That's it. It's not a commercial.
No, it's not like they listened and said, "Man, this show is so bad, we're going to suspend you."
Well,
that could have been an option. There's been some times where this show
suspend Hawkfanatic. How are they going to reach the pedal?
Yeah, there's been times where they probably should have suspended the show for content delivery. But no, this is just I don't know.
It's a pain in the ass. Of course it is.
Yeah.
I just thought you might like to know exactly what you did wrong if you went back and listened.
Well, yeah, I want to fill out the appeal first to see if maybe we can find out through this appeal that they may tell us. And then
I mean, I don't understand what we're fixated on. It is the music, whether we played Come Together
or the Cars.
The Cars, it makes no difference.
Carly Rae Jepsen.
It's the music.
Watch it be Gigi Allen.
Yeah, it could be.
You played a small part.
Yeah.
When you guys were explaining to me, man, this song's not bad. You played it.
That's very possible. Gigi Allen could have had the final.
He's getting us from his poop hole.
No, I mean, so don't worry about what.
Well, caller, I'll tell you what. If you want to go back and try to find it, let me know. I just don't have time to deal with that right now. But
we run concert commercials for like the state fair that have clips of music in them, and if they were in one of the commercial breaks we ran during it, it might have picked up on that.
Yeah, because I don't know if.
Oh wow!
Although the time of year, though, that doesn't sound.
Well, I don't know when these were, but yeah, you're right. If it was summer, it might have been a state fair, but if not, they wouldn't have many others.
No.
But it makes no difference what the song was.
Hey, thanks for the ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to know what it is, but not that curious to go back 4 years and try to find it on our. I think we have them all stacked somewhere on the. But the whole thing is just annoying. Something I don't want to be dealing with.
It is, and there's no reason for it, really.
Well, I don't know why they couldn't let us. Hey, you played these things in violation. You can't play this. Okay, thank you. They gave us a warning first. I don't know if they expected us to go, and we did remove the last time they gave us a warning. We removed that pine. We took it off. So I don't know what I mean. And you saw the latest email. It didn't say we were in further violation. It's the same two podcasts, right?
It is
the same two podcasts from. I want to say it was from like April of 21. And
well, and that would be right with the sports being in.
Well, yeah, because track was starting.
Yeah.
It was either April or May of 21, and baseball, they were both in full swing. So, but yeah, this is just something I never would have envisioned being an issue. But I also don't know much about this stuff either.
Yeah, we were on Ustream then, so it wouldn't.
So not even.
No, it's not on YouTube. I just went back.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I can feel your pain. I've been in the museum business for about 30 years, and one exhibit I had years ago featured a clip from the 1922 version of the original Ben-Hur, the silent movie with Ramon Navarro in it.
Sure.
I played that on a Thursday night. Monday morning, I got a call from Warner Brothers legal department.
Wow.
And they said it was going to cost me $500 to play a 3-minute clip.
Jesus.
Wow. Well, I can kind of share that story. I mistakenly, not knowingly, used 4. Remember when I told you about that in the summer? I used 4 photos that I thought I had permission to use because they were from University of Iowa Twitter accounts, and I have permission to use Iowa's photos as long as I give attribution. One of them was of Jack Campbell at the NFL Combine. Little did I know, Iowa had been given permission to tweet those photos, but they weren't the property of Iowa. I got flagged on and I had to pay $1,600.
You had seriously
For the use for the I don't know, the copy violation, right, for using 4 or 5 photos that I didn't realize I was. Had I known that was an AP photo and Iowa didn't have the, I wouldn't have ran it.
Would have used it
I didn't need
years.
it. I just was it wasn't even, none of the stuff that I got flagged on was even important stuff. One of them was a Caitlin Clark photo with her arms up in the air that I just assumed it was Iowa's because it was tweeted by the Iowa Hawkeyes account. It turns out that one was either USA Today, and that was one of them. Yeah, it was $1,600. I was able to negotiate them down from $2,300. They originally wanted $2,300.
Jesus.
Yeah, I use a lot of photos and stuff in exhibits, and I have to go through ungodly amount of hoops to get everybody's. Sometimes the author, which would be the guy taking the photograph, who he worked for, be it Time or a university or whatever, get their permission. It's crazy.
Well, some of them want money, too, and rightfully so. I get it. I just have an agreement with Iowa because they like seeing their stuff out, more promotion for them. Just say by HawkeyeSports.com, which I do with all the photos. I just thought those were Iowa photos, but they weren't. But now Rob Howe does most of our photos now.
You got to be real careful about it, obviously.
Well, now I've got it worked out with Iowa to where I pretty much know what is and what isn't Iowa's. And so now I know, like, something coming from a combine, not to use that. I mean, because I've talked to Iowa about it, because, it was just me being not understanding what I was doing because I just assumed it was Iowa stuff. Well, and none of them were stories that I needed. It wasn't like breaking. It was just, I just never imagined that it was going to cost that much.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I've noticed the attribution that you give on the photos.
On every one.
And in my head, I said, God, he must have to do this on every photograph.
Yeah, but think about it, though, Tom. That's a small price to pay for being able to use free photos.
Well, no, you're right.
Especially if I want to reach out to Getty or somebody, they're going to charge me $100, $150 a photo. Iowa does a great service by giving me free photos, and not just me, just give them attribution. And there's been times where I've gotten lazy doing that, and I've heard from Iowa, hey, and fair enough, I get it. I mean, they give me free photo use because Rob can't be at everything. But football and most of the big stuff Rob shoots for us, so that's just Hawkfanatic. But no, I appreciate your call, and yeah, it's just you got to be careful, man, because they're waiting to pounce on you.
Well, the fine line I walk in the biz is that if the museum I'm working for charges admission, that's different. If it's a nonprofit, like, say a university museum that doesn't charge admission, then I can say the photos are for educational purposes only, and I can kind of get around the fee that way. So, but I hear you. They're out there in the weeds. watching, and this happened long before AI, so I have no idea how it got out to Los Angeles.
It did.
Wow.
But it did. Thanks,
All right, well,
guys.
thanks for sharing.
Okay, well, you can tell them that the radio station is nonprofit. Because I haven't.
Not by choice.
yeah, not by choice. I have found videos here going back to, evidently we were on YouTube in 2022. Molly Suter and the other girl.
Molly Suter and the other girl.
Yeah.
Sounds like a band.
Cindy Clark Hudson.
Oh, the
girl.
That's a lady with 3 names. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's Hawkfanatics here, but it doesn't go.
But nothing.
I can't
not
find
the 2021.
I'm not finding that. I don't think we were on it in 2021. Here's some guy in Germany that recorded us.
Wolfgang?
2023. No.
Why?
And here we are in Finland. Yeah. Oh, and here's Tom Gavin fighting with Dennis Murphy and Southern Justice.
That's radio gold right there.
So
we should get flagged for that.
Yeah, but it's not a podcast. That's just live radio.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, quick question. I think those podcasts, was that when you accidentally were whistling the Andy Griffith theme song? Is that what they caught you on? So
That very well could be.
When do you when is it possible, or when's the portal start up for baseball? Have we heard anything? When does that start?
It's already going.
There's over four. As
Keller starts building his team.
There's over 4,000 people in the baseball portal right now. Iowa's been adding pieces regularly.
We lost a few and
lost
added
a few. They just got a kid from Wagner, who's from Denver, Iowa, who's coming back for his last year. It's going on right now.
It is going on right now.
Yes.
I'll be darned. Okay.
Yep.
So even with the College World Series, I mean, I suppose those teams probably have their own avenue to find players even while they're still playing.
Oh yeah, I mean Iowa just got, like I said, I just saw them. This kid he played at Wagner, but no, I've seen 4 or 5 additions that have happened. They're coming and going, mostly coming. They haven't lost a ton.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reese Moore and Anthony Watts are the only ones, at least off the top of my head. I'm sure there's been more, but
there's been more attrition on the softball side. Than
way more on the softball side.
Yeah.
And I'm actually working on my top 10 female athletes. I'll do that one, and then I'll release the men's one since sports year's over. It's harder now because, I mean, you got the women's wrestling team. They have 3 undefeated national champions. The question is, how much do you weigh what they did when you figure how uncompetitive the sport is?
Yes.
I gotta weigh. I just can't. If it was like the men's wrestling, boom, they'd be 1, 2, and 3. I mean, without question. But it's just tough to measure women's wrestling right now in its infancy because there's just not a ton of competition.
Maybe count them as 1.
Well, I don't know. I'm like I said, I've got my list down to about 14 right now, and I mean Lucy Olson's gonna. I mean, do you think what Lucy Olson did more impressive than what Kennedy Blades did? Kennedy Blades was but if you consider the state of Big Ten women's basketball compared to the state of women's college wrestling, that's what I'm weighing. No, it's not even close. Kennedy Blades was undefeated. She was the outstanding wrestler at the Nationals. But all 3 of the ones, the Macy Kilty and Kylie Wilker, they were all undefeated. And 28-0, 27-0, 25-0.
But it would almost be like if the Iowa women played a high school all-star team.
Or if the Iowa women played at the division. If the Iowa women all of a sudden played Lucy Olson's last year against Division II opponents.
Yes.
Is that fair? If Lance is listening, he can always text me and say, but that's the question I'm having to weigh here, because I don't want to give too much credit to what those 3 wrestlers did, as spectacular it is, but I also don't want to shortchange them.
No, you don't.
So that's why it's more difficult this year.
Well, I think you might want to consider lumping them in as one, saying.
Well, I might do that, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. I mean, there's not first team All Big Ten is a pretty easy. That's pretty much the that you got to be at least first team All Big. There's enough of those. I mean, Lucy Olson was first team All Big. 10, you got like Jenny Young from softball, who oddly enough is no longer with the Iowa softball team. She's going to be on. She was first team All Big 10, led the team in hitting, led the team in triples, and 2 times. She definitely deserves to be in the top 10. The thing is, though, the wrestlers had like the wrestler who finished runner-up and I think lost once. She's probably not going to make it. Because I could, wrestlers had 15 All-Americans. I could do a top 10 with, so it's just, it's difficult.
It is.
Well, I would go ahead with doing those podcasts, putting them on your site, and then we will put them on our Facebook and social media.
Well, I don't know how to directly put them on. I mean, Rob doesn't know how to do them directly on WordPress. And the problem with that, though, is if you do them on WordPress, there's no way to download them onto, like, your phone. You can listen to them like when you're in your car. It's just, it needs that Anchor and Spotify from the people that have explained it to me. You know, I would much rather have people going to Hawkfanatic's dashboard to get our access, but you can't do it without. But I'm going to talk to Vortex. But no, there's always the chance, guys, we may fill out this appeal, and within a 40, hey, okay, let's just make sure that there's a chance it may work.
And there's also a chance that you never hear from them again and you stay suspended.
Well, if that's the case, I would give that probably.
Well, how long is the suspension? Suspension.
It says indefinitely.
Yeah.
It says indefinitely. Yeah, and see, I can't wait indefinitely. I could give it maybe, let's tell you, today's Wednesday. If I don't hear from him by Friday or Monday, then I think it's time to, well, I'll try. Is this customer service, is it one of these things where I'm going to get automated?
You're supposed to get live. That I just put live, and so you're supposed to. I'm
okay. Well, I want to talk to them after I fill out this appeal thing, so at least I can say I filled out the
Vortex. They can put Vortex can put.
I'm going to reach out. Definitely, I'm going to reach out to Vortex about. I mean, because if I can do that, then if I could avoid having, but other people have said you need the Spotify reach and influence. If you're trying to get to more, you need to make it convenient for the listener, and putting it on Hawkfanatic's not near as convenient as putting it on.
There's other things but Spotify that they don't own.
Well, yeah, there's like, not many. You guys would know that as much as me. I mean, is iTunes? I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
iTunes.
I don't know this stuff at all, guys.
iTunes is huge.
Is that, do they host podcasts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know this stuff at all. I rely on other people.
iTunes is huge.
And what's funny is
isn't that what Michael Mara uses, iTunes?
iTunes.
What's funny is poor Rob's getting, they're sending him all the emails, and he has nothing to do with it. He's getting all these threatening emails from Spotify and then just forwarding to us.
And he's responsible.
Well, should we blame Rob, Woody, and...
You have to have somebody to blame.
Well, we've got Rob, we've got Woody, and we've got Hiller.
That's right.
All three of them.
Yeah. And Hillary.
And who?
Hillary.
Oh, well, and Hunter.
Well, that goes without saying.
So, but it's just annoying, man. I'm glad it's not happening during football season. You know, so, but I'm curious to see what this appeal process is like. Do you think it's going to be a cluster, or do you think it's going to be one of these things that quickly, okay, let's compromise. Yep, we'll get you back on. Just don't do it again.
Well, you got flagged probably by AI. We all agree with that, right?
Yes.
Probably, yes.
So I don't think that anything's going to come of the appeal process. I think they're just going to keep you suspended.
So you don't think they care about losing?
Not in the slightest.
Because they've got such bigger accounts?
Yes.
Okay, here's all the... It's amazing. Here's all the podcast providers. Podbean, which we have actually...
Sounds like somebody from Green Acres.
Well, Padaski used it to put games on that he did. Podbean.
He also read when he walked.
Libsyn.
Wasn't that a band from the 80s?
I know. Buzzsprout.
That was a band from the 80s.
Blueberry. Transistor. I mean, this is just goes up. Megaphone. There's Anchor. Apple Podcasts, which is iTunes, which would be huge.
That would, we'll see. We'll see if Spotify.
Don't you have to pay for iTunes?
Huh?
Or don't you have to pay for iTunes, or is it just if you download it?
I don't know.
I mean, if Spotify doesn't want our business, I mean.
I don't know. I would have little faith in their process, their appeals process, because
especially if they're being sued.
SoundCloud, Audio Boom,
that grunge Seattle.
Whatever I would do, I would also.
Isn't that a grunge band?
I'd also stick it on YouTube with just a picture. a picture of you.
We can put it on our webpage, can't we?
Yeah. Oh,
Just,
yeah.
I mean, we get.
And then would we be able to see? I gotta keep. The emphasis for me is getting it onto the Hawkfanatic page.
Yeah.
As a podcast.
Oh yeah.
So our sponsors.
So if we can put it on we use the same mechanism as Hawkfanatic does.
Well, once he has a podcast and he has a provider, we can double up and put it on our. What did they say that we had on our page, on our website?
5,000 uniques a day?
Something like that. I don't know what that is.
It's 5,000 unique people a day.
Well, I understand what that is, but I don't know what it is in the world.
So times 30 is 150,000.
And you're going to make a fortune.
Sure.
We're going to make a fortune. Yeah. Hello?
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey, just personally, I use YouTube for everything now. I mean, I got YouTube Premium, so I use it for all my music when I'm on the road. I use it for podcasts. I use it for videos, just everything. And I like it because it has, as far as music, it has a lot more of the weird and obscure old music that I like than what Spotify has. And I don't care about Joe Rogan or any of those big podcasts.
Nor do I.
But the smaller, obscure podcasts are on YouTube, too. I mean, like you said, they just might have a
if you stick anything with the word hawk on YouTube, that's all you have to do, is because their podcasts will pop up all over the place.
And since we don't play music anymore, we're not at risk of doing any violations, right?
No.
Okay. Well,
exactly.
Like I said, maybe I'll just.
So anyway, I just from a consumer standpoint, it's really simplified things for me instead of bopping around different applications. Thanks.
Good to know.
And it's available on every phone, no matter what, and it's available on every television.
I say we fill out that appeal and do it with like an abrasive attitude. We don't need.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
But I mean, my point is if we can put it on KCJJ through WordPress, which is what we use,
which is what I
there
use.
is no reason why you couldn't do it at Hawkfanatic. No reason whatsoever.
Yeah, Rob,
it's the same mechanism.
Rob's the one who's uploading our stuff right now, and he doesn't know how to do that, but I'm sure it's something we could. Yeah, I'll talk to Vortex, but ideally I would just like to.
And you could get paid by YouTube if you get so many.
Which Spotify, obviously, you don't. But ideally I would like to. Well, hell, I'm thinking maybe if Spotify even does let us back, it might be worth still considering switching to YouTube. Or why can't you do both?
You can.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I mean, there's podcasts like the Dateline podcast, all these mystery deals.
I'm sure Joe Rogan's on like all of them, isn't he?
No. He has got
exclusive with
Spotify.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Does he get to play music?
No. He don't get to do nothing. Just bitch. Just bitch. That's all he gets to do.
I've never. Well, I've listened to little pieces of it, but I've never listened to his pop from start to. I just can't.
I don't understand. Yeah, the appeal, but I don't understand the appeal of me. So, I mean, I don't get it. He's just a guy. They're these guys. He's like an RFK for.
He really rose.
Radio.
He really rose during the pandemic. I mean,
because he was against everything, and
people loved that.
And he's an MMA guy, and
tattoos, alpha male.
I'm not getting it.
Unvaxxed.
But I don't.
Well, there's not one word you guys just said that would make me want to spend 1 second listening to that.
I'm just not interested in what he has to say about politics or anything. There's no knock on him. I mean,
you might as well listen to RFK talk about medicine.
I can't listen to RFK's voice. I just can't. It's Bob Goldthwait under stress. Bobcat Goldthwait. That's what he sounds like.
Yeah.
He sounds like a drunken Shakes the Clown.
Shakes the Clown.
Remember the movie?
Yeah.
You've actually seen it, right? Suter, you have not seen it.
No.
Seen what?
Shakes the Clown.
Shakes the Clown.
Starring Bobcat Goldthwait.
No, I was, Shane had, wasn't that 80-something?
Maybe early 90s.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I think Shane had a fever or something, and I was up.
I watched it from start to finish.
USA.
And giggled.
It was on USA with Rhonda.
Shakes was a clown with a drinking problem.
Yeah. With Rhonda Shear, remember?
Yeah, no, you're right about that. So, but yeah, no, there's other options. I just don't want to be dealing with this right now, and it's
nonsense.
And this AI, this just makes me wonder if we're going to be. I read something or somebody, one of the newscasts, they predicted within 5 to 10 years, unemployment could be up to 20% because of AI. If that happens, we're going to be it's going to be a catastrophe.
Unplug it. You know, if it's such a danger and everything,
but people aren't unplugging it because people are they're going to make money from it.
Yeah.
But if one out of 4,
Amazon is saying, you know.
I mean, if 1 out of 5 people are unemployed, how could we exist?
You can't survive. No.
What, you're telling me 5 years from now, instead of Molly sitting over there, it's going to be some like computer
or Earn? If I'm sitting here.
But that was.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
Speaking
of Earn, why don't we take a break and earn some money?
So, like now during this break, I'm not sure. I think is there any music violations during this break?
Suter sings the 1-800-800.
But none of your commercials have any.
But no, that's my song.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's okay.
Well, unless you claim that he owes you money.
And we need to talk about Caitlin Clark's game last night when we come back.
I watched it.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. Remember,
for a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Hertine and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Hertine and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HertineandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
You take great care to maintain your home or business inside and out. But maybe, just maybe, there's something missing. Something that makes your home stand out among the others in your neighborhood. Something that makes your business pop and increases traffic. Something that you can change and customize at your command. Well, there's a solution, and that's Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuminlights provides illumination for every occasion. Holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course lighting for all your favorite sports. The Illuminlights app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illuminlight's LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. For more information about Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting, go to BigDogTEK.net or give them a call at 319-395-0800. That's 319-395-0800.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen and bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
Once upon a time in the land of the Hawkeyes, a business grew. A business that would become synonymous with real estate. Hi, I'm Steve Anderson of Hawkeye Title and Settlement. When you're buying or selling your home, you'll need title and settlement services. Consider the Hawkeye Title and Settlement team. Give us a call at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement, the team you love, the people you trust.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy, 20,000 square foot indoor facility, holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams. Is open to the public.
Our top level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
When you go to a family restaurant, you want 3 things. 1, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. 2, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And 3, you want to be treated like family. You get all 3 at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you. GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit Supples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
Hi, this is Tiffany at Senior Benefits. Are you confused with Medicare questions, anything having to do with Medicare? I take care of all Medicare customers, people under 65. I also do life insurance, long-term care, cancer insurance. I'm here to help you navigate any questions that you may be having or frustrations and anxiety that you may have with Medicare or insurance in general. Give me, Tiffany Rao, a call at 319-631-4795.
We've said it for years. We want to give you our best price or most competitive price up front, and now Ford's brought that to the table.
Just makes you feel good.
Patrick Eads and Terry Adams with Deary Ford.
It's a true Ford employee pricing plan.
As if you work for Ford or you're a retiree from Ford.
You could walk in and buy a new Ford for less money than I could purchase one for.
I have never seen Ford do a sale like this.
The From America, for America event.
Sale extended through July 6th. Deary Ford, Iowa City.
When we say here for you, we mean it.
It's a great deal.
At the Oxyoke Inn, we're ready to serve you with the same fresh food, prepared to order and served with a passion that you've come to expect for over 85 years. The Oxyoke Inn is serving our famous Sunday brunch buffet with lunch, dinner, family-style banquets, and carry-out daily. Make reservations at oxyokeinn.com or call for big or small tables and private rooms. We can't wait to serve you soon at the Oxyoke Inn.
The Oxyoke
In the heart of Amana.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios, in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. A mostly cloudy sky for today with scattered showers and thunderstorms around and high temperatures into the upper 70s. A storm or two possible this evening, then partly cloudy tonight. Lows close to 60. Then it clears out for Thursday and begins to heat up. High temperatures in the mid-80s with sunshine and humidity. That's your forecast on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Right now it's 73.
KCJJ weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
We are back.
We are.
We are back.
Hawks.
Okay.
Basketball press conference. We got first of 9 different summer interview sessions with basketball, football, and women's basketball. Tomorrow we have I think we get the 2 of the Drake transfers and Cooper Koch tomorrow, and I believe it's at 11:30 or noon. And I know today the Iowa football program is doing that. They've done this. This is the second one they've done. I went to the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't go to this one. Obviously, I got a lot going on. But they do this thing where they invite the media beat writers to come and spend a day kind of behind the scenes, kind of looking at what Iowa does. And I think it's from like 11:30 to 5:30 today. I did go to it like 3 or 4 years ago, and you learn a lot.
Uh-huh.
I didn't write anything about it. I mean, because they ask you to keep all the stuff confidential. But I think that's cool that Kirk does that. You know, he lets the media see behind the scenes stuff. But like I said, I got a lot of stuff going on right now, and I don't have time. But yeah, we're going to start having a lot of access here in these next month or so. We'll have a lot of Hawkeye interviews, and Iowa will have their own people there too. Yeah. So there'll be stuff for you guys to download. There'll be plenty of stuff.
Oh yeah.
We'll have plenty of quotes and stuff.
Cool beans.
Yeah, it starts tomorrow.
So did you boys watch the Fever?
I did.
And
I
Sun last night?
I surfed a few times, but I watched it pretty much from start to finish.
I did too.
And I watched it when that little altercation happened. And
there were two altercations.
Well, the one at the end I did not see. I had moved on. I wished I would have seen that. Thankfully, Sophie Cunningham stood up for her because I didn't think Caitlin's teammates really stood up for her that much when she was being pushed around like a pinball.
Very seriously, they are jealous of the golden goose.
Oh, they definitely. That's it to a T. And J.C. Sheldon and Caitlin go back.
Yeah, it's nothing.
And I don't think Ohio State
or anything.
I don't think.
Like
well,
that.
Ohio State and Iowa don't. Ohio State and Iowa women, I don't believe they like each other.
They do not.
There's bad blood between. And Caitlin's just not going to take the crap. And I thought J.C. Sheldon ignited it by after she poked Caitlin, she walked towards her like, yeah, what are you going to do about it? And Caitlin, I don't accuse Caitlin of overreacting because it's not fun getting poked in the face playing basketball. It's not. You worry about your eyes and stuff. But I thought J.C. elevated it by walking towards her. And then, of course, the Marina Mrabery, she played at Notre Dame, didn't she? I think she did. What she did was ridiculous. I don't know why they didn't throw her ass out.
Why didn't they throw her out?
I don't know. That's the big...
She only got a technical. She didn't even get a flagrant, did she? I don't think she even got a flagrant.
No, she got a technical.
Well, here, we got Stephanie White, what Stephanie White said right afterwards. Why don't we listen to this and then let's...
I've heard it, and it's good.
Okay, here we go.
I think it was pretty obvious that stuff was brewing, right? When the officials don't get control of the ball game, when they allow that stuff to happen, and it's been happening all season long. All season long. It's not just this game. It's been happening all season long. This is what happens, right? This is what happens. You've got competitive women who are the best in the world at what they do, right? And when you allow them to play physical and you allow these things to happen, they're going to compete, and they're going to have their teammates' backs. It's exactly what you expect, right, out of fierce competition. So I started talking to the officials in the first quarter, and we knew this was going to happen. You could tell it was going to happen. So they got to get control of it. They got to be better. They got to be better.
And J.C. Sheldon was involved with both fracases.
Yeah.
And she ignited both of them.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, and that was a rough foul by Sophie Cunningham, and she should...
Considering Mabry's mother, I don't understand why she got it.
Mom's Mabry?
Mom's
Is
Mabry.
that where you're going with this?
Yeah.
Oh. That might be a violation.
That was Tommy.
So is this we're being flagged by everybody.
And rightfully so.
YouTube's like, nope. But yeah, and see, J.C. Sheldon, I think she almost liked the fact that she got right up and was ready to go, and it was a rough, flagrant foul, and she got thrown out, right, Sophie?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought she got thrown out, but Mabry didn't. What was Mabry's to me was even more cheap because Caitlin wasn't even looking. At least J.C. Sheldon knew that she was going to go up and it was going to be a rough layup.
Yes.
Sophie.
She lowered her shoulder and went into Sophie just as hard as she could.
But Mabry just hit Caitlin, basically blindsided her.
Yes.
And I don't think Caitlin does flop at times. I don't think she flopped there. I mean, she's good at making the contact look as good as it is, and hey, more power to her. But no, it's jealousy. They're jealous of her.
Yeah.
And if she starts,
and that's what I don't. They can't look at her and say, "God, she's increased our visibility."
Oh, they'll
our
say that.
money.
They just won't say it publicly.
Yeah.
I think deep down they're like, yeah, she's the reason we're making this kind of money. But the officials are not very good, and I couldn't believe it took that long to review, and you come up with that verdict. It was just ridiculous. And, of course, they were all then you get on Twitter, and it was 3 women refs, right?
Yes.
Yeah. 2 of them were black, right? Oh, my God. That was just DEI. There was that. I think I've seen some men on the WNBA side that have made some.
Oh, they're terrible.
I think it's more just the quality of the ref, not as much as the sex of the ref.
It had nothing to. I don't believe it had anything to do with the sex of the officials,
or the race, or any
nothing.
of
that. The WNBA officials are terrible, whether they're women, men, black or white. They're bad.
Obviously, they're not making near as much as the NBA officials, so they're not getting the the pick of the crop.
They're making a fourth.
Yeah, I mean, and as they probably should. I mean, it's only half the games, and NBA officials aren't perfect, but rarely do you see things. I mean, it just seems like the WNBA officials, it's like there's no consistency with a lot of what they do.
No.
Like a check foul here is not a check foul the next time. But no, I thought they did not handle that well, Caitlin. And the fact that she made that 3 later it's not like Caitlin she had 20 points and she was good, Caitlin. She wasn't great, Caitlin, but she was angry, feisty Caitlin. And I like that. That's my favorite Caitlin. Yeah. I don't like happy Caitlin.
The 3-pointer over J.C. Sheldon.
That
one was great.
So what do you like better, angry Caitlin or happy Caitlin?
Yeah, when she goes, how do you like that?
I like angry Caitlin.
To Sheldon.
Yeah, she said a couple other things too. But no, I thought that, and when she fired up the crowd, they woke her up, but Connecticut is also not a very good team. And weren't they good last year?
They were runners up.
Yeah, they're 2-8, and they're going through a lot. They're not a happy team.
No, they lost all of their starters.
Yeah,
yeah.
And that Marina Mabry or whatever, she was traded, I believe, from New York, wasn't she?
Where was she traded from?
I think they thought that was going to be a big.
Or was it Chicago?
Maybe. Well, whoever it was from, I think they traded her thinking she was going to be able to provide a boost, and she hasn't really done anything to win games. And now the Fever are 6-5, and who do they play next?
Let's see, Thursday at the Valkyries. So Caitlin.
Oh,
Caitlin and Kate.
What if wouldn't it be great if they get into it? They got to be separated at midcourt. Wouldn't you like that?
No.
I would like that. And then after the game, they hug. I did not see the handshake line after the game. Did Caitlin?
There wasn't one.
Okay.
No,
I was wondering.
No, there wasn't one.
They don't always have one.
I don't think you need them. I mean, the NBA doesn't. I don't believe.
I thought the commentator said at one point in time, well, there won't be any handshakes after.
Yeah, I don't believe the NBA does handshakes after.
I don't think they do lines in the WNBA.
I wonder if they did when Barkley played. You imagine Barkley with handshake lines? That'd be interesting. But no, that was a smart thing to do. Was not
or Shaq just
squeezing hands. But yeah, that was smart though to not have the handshake line. I kind of wished when it got to be like 13-14, I changed the channel with like 20 seconds, and I ended up missing one of the key points when she got that breakaway. But I think Sheldon almost enjoyed another reason to get up and fight. She just seemed, and she's been like Dallas tweeted, Caitlin has been dicing her on the court for 6 years.
She has.
And she's just frustrated and, tough. She's better than you. And Caitlin knows she's better, and I think that's kind of what she was. Hey, I'm just better than you, so shut up and quit playing dirty. I thought they were playing dirty.
They were.
Yeah,
No, I don't think she deliberately poked her. But the way she handled the poke afterwards, a lot of people, when they poke somebody in the face, one of their first, oh, God, I'm sorry, she got, ready to do more.
She did.
When Caitlin reacted, she went at Caitlin, with her chest out, what are you going to do about it? And I thought that's when everything escalated.
Yeah, she was involved with both fracases, and she's a problem.
Yeah.
And Mabry should have been kicked out.
Yeah, Mabry should have been.
Mabry should have been kicked out.
Yeah, I don't think Sheldon should have been kicked out, but Mabry should have been kicked out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a cheap shot.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with,
And you could tell just by the way she gladly, you could tell she is so jealous and dislikes Caitlin.
Uh-huh.
I don't care if in public 2 days, that's just the heat. You're going to get that's the heat of the battle. We all love each other. No, you don't. You don't have to admit that.
Well, who was the one, now I can't remember, who was the one that said, this used to be such a chill game?
And nobody watched.
Yeah.
And nobody was making any money, and nobody cared. A chill game.
Who in the hell
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was some interview with one of the players. And, people could bring their... It was the most dumbest answer. People could bring, they could watch the game while they read a book or something. What the F?
And get in for $2.
Yeah, I don't understand that mentality. No, she's the best thing that's ever happened to the WNBA. And it's not always going to be hugs and kisses, but that's part of the allure. I enjoyed the physical play in that game, and it was fun. It's fun, I mean, seeing the women kind of resemble the NBA. I mean, that's...
Well, except I don't like the NBA particularly.
Well, I don't mind the NBA. I mean, I'm not a... I mean, they're the greatest athletes. I mean,
no question.
The athleticism
no
that you. But have I been watching the NBA Finals? No, because I'm not really interested in either team. What is it? 3-2 Oklahoma, and isn't the game tonight? Isn't Game 6 tonight?
I believe you are right.
Game 6 tonight in Indiana, I believe, which means Caitlin will be in the.
Brittany Griner.
Oh.
Brittany Griner.
Yeah,
said
and Brittany Griner's also said a couple things about Caitlin that I was kind of disappointed with. But, she has enough hate to deal. She's hated on Twitter. And there's people that want her dead in Russia.
Jesus.
I hate that. For that.
But she said a couple things that, because I've been very supportive of her.
Yeah.
But because I know a lot of people hate her, hate everything she stands for. But she made a couple comments about Caitlin that I've read that were kind of disappointing. But I think they're all just jealous of her. I mean, she is the face of the league. She doesn't play. Games drop 50% in attendance. Nobody pays to go to them. She's the face.
I want to know what Stewie and Caitlin said to each other.
Oh, Stewie, they had an interview with Stewie, and I can't remember. It wasn't anything, or it was pretty basic. I can't remember exactly what she said, but she did say something. That was from a long way out, and she kind of laughed. But she was sort of just saying it was all just friendly stuff, and But yeah, no, that was funny, and that's happy Caitlin, but I still like angry Caitlin better. Because I think angry Caitlin sometimes is when she plays.
She might be better.
When she's angry and pissed off, that's when she seems to get that shot off quicker. And I'm noticing she's starting to look a little more mid-range, too, and I'm glad. A couple games ago, she was driving in the lane, and I thought for sure she was going to dish it off, but she shot a leaner in the lane from 8 feet, and it went in. And I'm like, yes, do more of that.
Yes, and she'd been working on that.
That's what she needs, the mid-range game.
Yep.
Yes,
if you compare pictures of her last year and this
the muscles
year,
are, especially in her triceps and biceps.
Yeah,
she's ready to go.
She is.
She just gets Sheldon in a headlock and
nuggies.
And holds. What do? You hold them until they're unconscious, right there on the court.
And I would love
and then the referees just stand there and let her put her down.
Yeah. And she gets a technical, but not a flagrant 1 or 2. You'd what?
I would like a transcript of what Sophie Cunningham was saying to J.C. Sheldon.
That would be interesting.
In their altercation, because she was jaw and man.
And Cunningham got up and was ready to scrap.
Oh yeah,
she was ready to go. I thought that was pretty neat. But I didn't think the teammates on the court, other than maybe Lexi Hull, really came to Caitlin's defense as much as they should have.
They are, she's dealing with jealousy, even on her own team.
Oh, I'm sure there's probably some of that.
Yeah.
and but hey, she's the cash cow, man. She's going to make you all richer.
Yeah, and
Yeah, she's going to, it'll be interesting to see what the ratings were for that game. We'll get that by probably tomorrow. Doesn't it take a couple days?
No, it'll be here by noon.
Oh, by noon?
Oh.
Are you going to announce it?
Yeah, break into
Announce it live on Spotify.
Break into the RAN coverage.
Announce it live.
Speaking of television ratings, they were saying, Yahoo and everybody was talking about 21 million for the Fever game and new record. 2.2, I think, was the actual. The Fever put out 21 million. It wasn't.
So the organization put out something that was that wrong?
The organization put something out. Yahoo went with it.
Jesus.
I mean, everybody went with it. And
22 million would be ridiculous.
Well, you looked up the one with Jordan. It had 30.
Yeah, but that was Jordan,
I get it.
time ago when we didn't have all these channels and crap and streaming services.
There wasn't anything on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the 21.
So there's probably something in between.
So they were only off by 19 million?
19 million.
Why would an organization, why would they do that? Somebody there probably is, I'm not saying they should lose their job, but that's a pretty serious mistake, or it's just deceptive.
But I mean, reputable news organizations retweeted those numbers, and they're just not right.
Wow. I mean, I could see it being from 21 down to like 10, but from 21 down to 2?
Well, I mean, 2.2 would still be.
Are you talking about share instead? Okay. When was that? When was the game? Sunday?
Sunday.
ABC. Sunday.
I mean, have the real figures been released even?
I'm looking.
Well, what's the difference between shares and views?
A share is...
okay. It peaked, according to ESPN and ABC...
Fake news.
Peaked at 20.8 million.
Really?
Yes.
So then
they were right.
They were right.
So then what did you say you read?
There's all 2.2 was what people were saying. It wasn't 21 million. It was 2.2 million. Yeah. And
when you say
been
people,
all over.
Who's people?
It's been all over.
All over, like where?
The game was the third most
Twitter.
watched WNBA game ever on ABC.
So I'm going to trust ABC and ESPN more than I'm going to trust
me
Twitter.
too.
I mean,
they're not going to give you fake.
Well, no, but I'm not knocking you, Tom. But that's kind of MAGA does what he just did. Well, it's on Twitter. I still believe reputable news sources. But see,
that's why I believed it to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't you agree though? The part of being, it seems like conservative now, is you just don't trust the media.
And, you go to Google and you look this stuff up, and this is what's getting the players. Caitlin Clark effect. Caitlin Clark's return. Third most watched show ever because of Caitlin Clark.
And they're jealous of that, but it's true.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, guys. Good show today. That play last night with Caitlin.
Yeah.
When Maberly knocked her down, just flattened her.
Uh-huh.
WNBA should step in today and suspend her for the whole season. Send a big message. It's like last year when Caitlin got knocked down by Kennedy Carter. Same thing.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree that
out of the blue comes somebody who just flattens Caitlin. If you look at that, see, Caitlin's lucky she didn't have a broken arm, broken wrist, something that would knock her out for the season, maybe affected her career.
No, I agree with you.
They can't let that go.
I agree that she should be suspended. I don't agree that she should be suspended for the rest of the season.
No, but they should do
5 games. I wouldn't mind. 3 to 5 games would be fine with me. They got to send some type of message.
They've got to nip it in the bud.
Barney Fife.
Yeah, they got to send a big message.
Barney used to say.
Come and flatten people like that out of the blue.
Bud nipping. No, I'm with you. I just think the whole season would be a little extreme.
Because it wasn't. Yeah. I mean, Mabry wasn't a basketball play. She just came up and
shoved her down, pushed her down.
Yeah, on the court assault.
Yeah, no, and yet
same thing last year with Carter, Kennedy Carter, when she knocked down Caitlin. It was amazing. Caitlin was able to come up and not have a serious injury from that. That was the same type of, just got flattened out of the blue.
Yeah, and she got chastised, and Mabry won't get near the criticism that.
Well, and Kennedy ain't playing.
I know.
In the W right now either.
Yeah. So, but no, it'll be interesting to see what the
black eye again for the league last night, and the administration of the league has got to do something.
So we'll see. I mean, if they do, they need to do it today too. They don't need to wait for a couple days.
Speaking of Sophie, is it true she played varsity football in high school for a little bit as a place kicker?
I don't know.
Possibly.
That's a good thing. I
know she went to Missouri. I'm not sure she did that.
Well, that rumor's out there, but I don't know if it's true or not. But she evidently, supposedly maybe was the first young lady to.
Well, if you got your phone, just Google it.
In her home state.
If you got your phone, just Google it. It'll tell you.
Yeah, I just don't know whether it's believable or not. You don't know what to believe. There's photos and stuff where she's in a football uniform and all that stuff, but it's kind of interesting anyway.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Thanks, sir.
All right.
Let's check it out here.
So, yeah, it will be interesting to see if the WNBA does come out with some additional punishment, because I think they should. Watch, they'll come out and suspend Caitlin. The WNBA is even jealous of her.
Hello.
Hey, guys, do you think watching Indiana Fever, and I don't watch a lot of it, I watch it here and there, but for as big as she is, like, does Aaliyah Boston, does she not have a mean streak in her?
No,
she
I don't
seems
think
like
she
way
does.
too nice of a person.
I agree. I don't, and I think I don't think Aaliyah's necessarily jealous of Caitlin, because Aaliyah's really good too. I just think she's passive. I just think that's not. I mean, I watched her reaction. She went to try to be a peacemaker. When all that stuff was going on, it looked like more than to Caitlin's defense. And to me, I think in those situations, you need to be more defensive instead of a peacemaker, because I don't think the opponent had any ideas about peace in those moments. That's just me. But, yeah, I'm with you. I think she is very passive.
I would agree with you 100%. And, I like her as a person, as a player. I don't think she's a jealous, as you were saying. I don't think she has it in her to be that.
No. No, I don't either.
Next question, and then I'll let you guys go. Pat, was you going to say earlier, a little bit ago, that do you think NBA athletes are the best athletes in the world?
I think they're some of the best athletes, but it's hard to compare a 6'9", Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant type guy to someone like Bo Jackson. You know what I mean? They're different types of athletes. But, yeah, I mean, some of those NBA players, Anthony Edwards, and some of those guys are freaks. But, no, there's freaks in every sport. I mean, there's a baseball player, what's his name? Something Simpson? I can't remember, but he's one of the fastest guys I've ever seen. Who would you say are the best, if you had to pick a sport that has the best athletes?
I mean, because we had this discussion at work the other day, so that's why. Man, I'm biased. Everybody has the one they like, and NHL players, man, for what they do and what their bodies go through, and then on a quarter-inch piece of steel with the hand-eye coordination and the speed. I mean, the average player is going 35 mile an hour.
Yeah, no, and they're also doing it on ice skates. Yeah, no, you're right. What I think of when I think of athleticism, though, I think of verticality in leaping, quick twitch fiber, size. The bigger you are Bo Jackson, you could argue before he got injured, was the greatest maybe athlete I ever saw. Just because he was 6 foot, 220, ran fast as anybody, had enough eye-hand skill to play professional baseball, was easily one of the best running backs in the NFL, even though it was a part-time job. He was a freak. To me, that is an athlete. Willie Mays, too, was a great athlete, too. But no, the hockey players, when you're in a professional sport at the highest level, even baseball players. I mean, there's some baseball players. I remember Rick Russell for the Cubs. I mean, he wasn't going to win any athletic contest. No. He might win a wing-eating contest or something. But no, that's kind of to me, Bo Jackson. I mean, Michael Jordan was an incredible athlete. I mean, he was 6'6", he could jump out of the gym.
Our final deal about that whole conversation was what you're saying pretty much, too, is everybody – that's such a broad spectrum of guys that do this and do this stuff great. That, a guy that's a multiple sport like a Bo Jackson, obviously, but it's too hard to say.
Okay, here's one. I'll localize it with Hawkeyes. Better athlete, Cedric Shaw or Ronnie Lester? How do you make that? How do you can't begin to answer that question because they were both extremely athletic in their own way and in their own sport. Ronnie Lester, healthy. I just had remember wearing the Puma tennis shoes and the white socks pulled up to his knees, getting into the lane whenever he wanted because nobody was quick enough to stay in front of him, and then he would rise up so high. Ronnie was never a great shooter.
No.
He was a good shooter, but he was so athletic before he got hurt. And then Cedric Shaw saying, who's a better athlete between those two?
Ronnie was able to get wherever he wanted on the court.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it's...
Oh, and hey, guys, Sophie Cunningham absolutely played football for Rockbridge High School. She also starred on the volleyball team, basketball team, but served as the Bruins kicker and kicked throughout the state tournament.
Wow.
As long
Good
as
for her.
She reminds me of the type of player that, you know, if someone's out there messing with your goal scorer, your whatever, to where that coach would go over there and tell her, okay, go get number 45 or go get number 6.
She's a goon. A goon. You're saying she's a goon?
Go tell them don't do that again.
She's a hockey goon. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.
All right. See you later. Hockey goon.
But, yeah, man, she was drawn to
Now, is it creepy for me to say that she's also pretty easy on the eyes?
Yes, she is.
I mean, she's in her 20s. It's not, is that creepy? You're looking at me like I just said something creepy on this show.
Yeah. Actually, she's closer to 30 than she is 20.
Oh,
because
then what the hell?
There's only
practically a grandmother.
Years. I'm guessing the Stones they've moved on.
Yeah, screw that. Yeah, Suter doesn't have to worry about the Stones. His daughters are
they're in their 30s.
My daughters are too old.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I saw some study where it says that smoking marijuana increases your chances of a heart attack 30%.
Increases or decreases?
Increases your chances for a heart attack 30%. And then in the same report, somebody showed a picture of Keith Richards from recently. I mean, and I'll tell you what, for a guy, if you can get past, he looks, for a guy in his 80s, I mean, for everything he's been through, he doesn't look that bad.
Looks better than our.
He's up and for everything that he's been through. I mean, his body once he does go, don't you think they should dedicate his body to science just to see what was in there that helped him withstand?
You know, they could do the same thing. Smoking anything is going to do that.
I know.
You know.
But yeah, I mean, and it just, I mean, I remember when we got all those studies in the 70s how eggs are so bad. If you eat eggs, your heart's gonna. Now, aren't eggs recommended as a good source of protein?
Yeah,
they are. The clogging of the cholesterol, I don't believe is as near.
Well, there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol.
But I just remember eggs. You had to always be really careful. But it doesn't seem that I don't eat a lot of eggs, to be honest with you. Like I had that omelet from Shakespeare's. I haven't had an egg since then.
Yeah.
But there was enough eggs in that omelet to last me like a year.
I generally have eggs maybe once a week.
Yeah, I'm probably once every 2 or 3 months.
Once every 4 or 5.
You don't like eggs, do you?
Decades. Huh?
You don't like eggs?
I like some eggs. I
like scrambled eggs?
No.
I
like deviled eggs.
Yeah. I don't mind deviled eggs with a ton of pepper. You got to put a ton of pepper on.
I like
how about poached
salad?
Eggs? Poached eggs.
No.
I hate all three that you guys just
My mom used to make a good poached egg when I was a kid, but she had this little poached egg maker thing, and they were good. As long as they were nothing worse than undercooked eggs. What's worse, undercooked eggs, chicken, or seafood?
Well, I don't eat seafood. Undercooked chicken can make you sick.
Ooh,
well, undercooked fish can make you sick.
Yeah.
And
how about wet donuts?
Actually, yeah. Yeah. Why wouldn't you bring the radio station a bag?
That's still maybe
with 2.5 donuts.
I love that
and
story.
The bag just soaking wet.
I love that story. You like that story, Tom?
Sure.
After you're fishing.
That's the only time donuts have been treated with scorn in this place.
Hello.
Hey, Pat. Question for you. This is Matt Haas.
Hey, Matt. How you doing?
29 years coaching. 20 in high school. Excuse me, 19 in high school and 10 in college. Here's my question for you. So, a lot of times, and a lot of it's been coaching females. So whether it's at the high school level or the last 10 at Kirkwood. And here's my question for you. With what happened last night in that game, what's the difference between that and what happened in MLB with Fernando Tatis and Ohtani. You know, you hit my guy, I'm going to hit your guy.
No, nothing.
You know,
it's
same
all
type of thing happened.
It's all kind of the same now. Did anyone get ejected? Did the pitcher get ejected for hitting Ohtani?
Got ejected was the manager from Dave Roberts from the
Okay, so
Dodgers.
they
But
ejected
here's
the
my thing
man-
on it. Like, a lot of time, and you've seen this because you've covered enough sports over your time, high school-wise, that the old way of officiating females was don't let it get too physical.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say this, but it's like, hey, they're females. We can't let them play physical. We can't let them play rough.
See, I don't
You
agree
know,
with
where
that.
you would
To me, the game has
two
evolved
officials
too
do
much.
A girl game, and the game's evolved so much.
Yeah.
That, like, honestly, I like the JC thing last night, the finger poke thing.
Yes.
I think it was on accident.
Oh, me
When I
too.
look at
Yes.
it again on video.
I just didn't like the
thought
way
went
she
to say
acted
sorry,
afterwards.
And then, and then Caitlin kind of got pissed about it, and I get it. She's a competitor.
Yeah.
You know, she's
And it
probably
hurt.
She's probably mindset-wise the toughest female competitor I've seen in my lifetime. You know, just mindset-wise.
No, you're right. You're not probably not old enough. Cheryl Miller had a killer instinct too. I remember her just destroying opponents back in the early mid '80s. But no, Caitlin's definitely got a strong mindset.
Yeah, and she's not going to back down. And like the old days, you know, some of these kids now, the NBA's changed so much that a Rick Mahorn or a Bill Lambier
They couldn't
even
survive. Well, just like football
anymore.
I mean, Bob Sanders would have trouble playing football in this day and age because of the way the game is officiated. I think what the WNBA's got to figure out here is, like, you know, when these players get off the bus, they treat it like a runway. They treat it like a model runway. They like to promote. What's the words I'm looking for? I'm not saying the sexuality or whatever, but you know what I mean. They like to promote that, hey, we've got beautiful women playing in this league.
Well, look at the beginning of every time they're on TV.
And some of them know they're going to be on, and they dress very provocative. So, okay, you
dress beautifully.
You promote that, but then once the game starts, it's hard for some, I think, to make that shift from what you're promoting there to, yes, they throw elbows, dive for the loose ball, fight. It's a physical game. It's evolved. The WNBA's got to figure out a way to balance that stuff. Because last night, to me, it just shows the league has so far to go to be legitimate and to be able to handle what Caitlin has brought to this league as far as attention and jealousy.
Yeah, and I agree with everything Stephanie White said. I think it starts with the officials.
Oh, I agree.
Baseball
I
umpires
completely
do
agree.
for 11 years.
Yes.
If you let stuff get out of hand, if I let stuff get out of hand on a baseball diamond, it's chaos. You know, you can't, as the official, you can't let the inmates run the asylum.
Exactly.
You know,
No,
you
and as
gotta
far as the
nip it
base-
in the butt and stop it before it happens.
And as far as the baseball, I used to be a pitcher, and as far as having to, some pitchers do hit people by mistake. I don't know why there always has to be this unwritten baseball way. We're going to come back at you. That's little things about baseball that just have always kind of bugged me. You know, you hit our guy, so we're going to hit you. I mean,
not to mention it's dangerous.
It's very dangerous too, and but as far, I'm with you though, Matt. The women's game has evolved to where you got to let these ladies be physical. That's the game they're playing. You know, there's a lot of 6'5", 6'6" women out there playing now. There weren't near as. The game is physical. People are going to get, but there's a difference between being physical and dirty. Last night I thought we saw dirty.
Dirty, and I think it's if you go back. Oh, I don't know. Let's go back 30 years, 25 years to 2000, and think of some of the kids that played in high school in 2000 at Iowa City High, West High, Regina.
I can't remember
schools,
kids
right?
that played 2
And
weeks ago.
Think of those kids, and then think of kids that are playing now. How would those kids from 2000 compare against these kids in 2025?
Exactly.
I don't think they would. I think because the game's so much different and the athleticism so much different.
Oh, it's way different.
And the conditioning.
When I played high school basketball, our team, we stood out because we had a 6'9" and a 6'5" guy. I mean, in my day, back in the early 80s, if you were 6'3", you were an inside guy. Now, if you're 6'3", you're hopefully playing guard and getting recruited to be a perimeter player. 6'3", 6'4", back in my, you were a power forward. It's so different now. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and I thought, Mabry's always been what's the word?
She plays with an edge.
Dirty, but just, even in college, she was kind of a tough player. She's kind of the B word, she's kind of that team's B, and every team needs to have an enforcer or a goon.
Oh, yeah, if she was on
Caitlin's
Caitlin's team, she'd be somebody protecting Caitlin. I get it. Yeah, she's devoted to her team.
And with what Sophie did on the foul, I thought, all right, it's a hard play, and, JC's going in, and Sophie's going to send a message, and it just happened to be JC Shelton there, and they had already got tangled up. And
I think the fact that it was J.C. Sheldon was why there was a rough foul. I don't think Sophie would have done that to just any player from the other team. I think it was because it was J.C. I think she was mad at what J.C. had done to Caitlin.
I agree 100%. And I agree with you. I don't think she would have done it if it was Sam Jones, a different player.
I think she would have done it if it was Marina Mabry. I think she would have done it.
And Mabry, like I said, she's just kind of she's a different cat, and she's always been that rough type of player,
she's big,
that you love to have on your team, but you hate to play against.
So did you guys enjoy when every time Mabry would touch the ball after that, the crowd would get boo?
That's part of the fun.
See, I loved that.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, and that's part of it. And I just like how the game's evolved, but I agree with you. WNBA, needs to understand their product, I think, and understand. Same thing goes for Asia Wilson. And I'm not saying you have to protect these better players, but you see it in the NBA. I mean, when LeBron and those guys and Kobe and Anthony Edwards, all these guys that are the superstars, you see them get calls. You don't see it as much in the WNBA.
That's what makes you appreciate Jordan even more, because Jordan had to deal with the Jordan rules against the Detroit Pistons, and they used to just destroy him.
Well, they sure did.
I mean, they would just beat the hell out of him. But I think
tell kids all the time, go back and watch that. Go back if you think this game's rough now. Go back and watch what happened to Jordan.
But the
'80s
80s got ridiculous. It got way too much. It just became just a. They needed to make some changes, and they did. I think the game's better now. I think it's played better now.
Yeah, but I also agree with Captain that they're jealous of the Golden Goose.
Oh, they are.
And it doesn't come down to race. It's just I think they're jealous of Caitlin because she's better.
Well, there were people jealous of Michael Jordan. Remember
to see that.
Remember his feud with Isaiah Thomas? Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, Michael Jordan went through some of the same stuff, but Caitlin will be fine. But to me, this is on the WNBA, and like I said, to me, I think they should have already come out with some type of announcement. I don't believe they have they? I think we would have seen it.
No, I haven't seen anything.
I mean, it's already almost noon Eastern time in Indy. I don't. To me, and maybe they won't. If they don't, it's just going to be a bad look.
Yeah, that's once again just shows how much they're struggling as an organization. I mean, they should have had that written last night, and 8 o'clock this morning that should have been out.
I agree.
But anyway, good talk.
All right, good talking to you, Matt.
Thanks for the call.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
This hour and a half's actually gone pretty quick.
Yeah.
Spotify cannot stop us. Is Spotify the enemy, Captain? Are we?
Yes.
Spotify's our enemy.
That's what you want to.
I'm kidding. But there is life beyond Spotify, is what you guys have told
Yes,
me.
there's a ton of.
You guys have provided life beyond Spotify.
Ton. There is. It's never-ending people or companies that will carry your podcast.
What if we send it to them? We have reviewed your appeal, and basically we would like to tell you to go shove it up your. They'd give us one of those. I would laugh at that, wouldn't you? If they told us to shove it up our. You'd laugh, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
He's laughing now.
Just at the thought of it. But no, I agree with Matt. I think the women's game has evolved to where you got to let them be physical. There's a difference, again, between dirty and physical.
Well, but who the officials have to make the
I think they're also going to have to invest more money in officiating. They're going to have to start paying to get better officials. Maybe, I'd like to think high-end college basketball officiating is pretty good. It's not great, don't get me. But, Big Ten men's games and stuff, maybe you try to get some of them, but I'm guessing a men's college basketball official at the highest level makes more than a WNBA.
I'm guessing
they do. Plus you're doing more games, too, and what have you. So, but no, they've definitely got to upgrade their officiating. I mean, they've got good arenas. They've got a decent product. Now, I will say, I've turned on some WNBA games this year that were brutal.
Snooze fest,
30-point games, crickets. I mean, nobody in the stands. I mean, and that's just – there's still a lot of work to do. Caitlin can't do everything.
No, she can't. And but she sure is fun to watch.
Oh, she's fun to watch. And like I said, I enjoy her passes. I think now the logo threes, yes, but to me, the best part are the passes. And when her teammates miss, easy layups. And then do you automatically look for her reaction when they miss? More of the times than not, in fairness to her, she does it. That's got to be hard not to react as a human when you drop a ball perfectly placed for your teammate who then misses a wide open. That's got to get frustrating.
There were a couple to Aaliyah last night that were just perfect,
And Aaliyah missed them,
and she missed them.
And I love Aaliyah. She plays so hard, and I don't think there's any bad blood between her and Caitlin. I agree with our caller that Aaliyah is just very passive. But man, I think Caitlin set an all-time NCAA record with most near assist, and she's going to end up setting a WNBA record someday. I wish they kept most near assist. I mean, because you'd be startled by how many near assists she had. Yeah. I mean, because there were times, in fairness to like Hannah Stoke, running full speed. Oh, there's no way she's going to get me this ball. She's not that good, is she? And the next thing you know, the ball's right there, and she's right there at the basket, and she shoots it, and it just rolls. And there were tons of those that happened.
And that's tough. And I can't remember who it was to, but there was one last night that Caitlin got to, and the player was shocked that the ball was there and almost lost it. She ended up making it.
No, that used to happen with Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, because Magic was even more flamboyant than Caitlin. I mean, he's bigger hands. I mean, and taller, but remember some of those Magic would like he's going to throw it one way and then throw it another way. And like the game I saw him at Fieldhouse, he dribbled and he threw the ball up on a 3-on-1. He threw it up, and you didn't know, and he was going to punch it, but you didn't know if he was going to punch it to the. He faked this and then punched it and the defender was like, good. And I'm sitting there thinking, my God, that guy's 6'9" doing that stuff. Still one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen. And Magic's really good with Caitlin too. He reaches out to her. I mean, the people that understand they understand and appreciate what she's doing.
Yeah.
And for the most part, she's a good person.
And LeBron and
off the court, she's great. On the court, she's feisty, and sometimes
that's what you have to.
And
be.
She's a whiner at times, but whatever. Nobody's perfect. That's part of who she is. That's part of who she is. You know,
most of those greats are kind of testy.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah, a lot of them are. So, but
I don't know. Okay, just a point to you from me. Every time you call me, and I don't answer, doesn't mean I'm sleeping, or you always.
What do you mean? I called you. I butt dialed you yesterday because I was trying to dial him.
But then I called you back and you said, go back to bed.
Oh, gee, you sounded like a freaking zombie. What? I mean, you sounded like you've been sleeping for like 3 months.
I always think I'm either in the crapper or I'm in bed.
Well, okay, neither one of those are very pleasant thoughts or images. But no, you sounded like it took you every bit of energy to make that call.
Life is kicking the ass off.
It sounded like it.
Yeah.
But no, I am
you guys facing Mabry every single
You guys' phone numbers are right, and I hit on yours because I was trying to call him about this stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
tell me it's 6:30. Go back to bed.
Well, then, so you're saying then you were crapping?
No, I wasn't crapping.
Then why did you sound so defeated and tired and exhausted?
I am defeated.
Overwhelmed.
I am.
No, you sounded like you had just woken from like a deep slumber.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
6:30 at night. Turned around to Jan and I said, this guy either thinks I sleep all day or I sit on the crapper all day.
But no, I should have probably texted you and said sorry for the butt dial. Because, man, I find myself, I'll go on a walk sometimes and I'll come home and see. One time I had butt dialed Halas 3 times on a walk. How does that happen?
I don't know.
You know, and it's just, it's weird, but I don't know. I appreciate all the calls today. This has been fun, and yeah, we'll get this stuff figured out. And it could, this will not be a podcast later, and I'm not sure.
Well, it'll be on YouTube.
It can be on YouTube.
So
I'll tweet people saying that it's just the problem is there's some people, people get so set on a routine.
Yes.
Some people, if you take away their Spotify connection, they're going to be.
You gotta.
Yeah, you're right.
Appeal,
we'll fill this thing out once.
But if you don't get back on. Go to these other sites.
Oh yeah. Oh, why don't I go to them anyway? You don't have to.
You should.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean,
I'll
have to talk to Rob
the more
about
distribution.
You're right about that.
Yeah,
so.
For sure. No, we'll do it as soon as we get off here, and it'll take us 5
But like
minutes.
I said, Lester, I believe it's next Tuesday. I just want to be able to put that into a podcast. But we'll see. Like I said, that's almost a week away, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, and now that being said by me, I've got dibs first to go to the restaurant.
I've got a head start on you, though. But you got a new knee.
Yeah, I got a new knee.
Yeah, no, you can have it. I'll go.
Wow.
I'll go second. All right,
And
done?
And I'll go outside.
Well, everybody have a good. Hey, do we have any rain coming?
Yeah. Yeah, we
like-
do. We're supposed to get a lot of rain, actually.
Well, not from what I.
Half to 3/4
Mace
of an
said
inch today.
scattered showers possibly throughout the day. He said that earlier. Mace.
Mace.
So you're basically saying Mace was wrong?
Well, scattered showers could bring a lot of rain.
When I hear scattered showers, Tom, do you think of a lot of rain?
I don't.
I don't either.
I think of a deluge.
No, I think of. And what are our chances? Now, we did get a little rain yesterday.
70% today.
Oh, is that what it? Seriously, or are you just saying
That's the
that?
Weather Service.
Okay, then
70%.
that gives me hope.
And weather app, WeatherBug says the same thing.
Okay, that gives me hope that we need rain. Now, we did get some yesterday afternoon. 'Cause
Yeah.
I got
We did.
busy doing stuff, and then I looked outside, and I had standing water on my street. How much rain did we get yesterday?
I have no idea because this thing resets at night.
But we got a decent amount. Okay,
Yeah.
so when's it supposed to start today?
Well, we had
Anytime.
some this morning.
Oh, we did have some this morning?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, because I've got a lot of watering to do, but if it rains enough, I won't have to do
No,
it.
we had rain this morning.
Okay, cool.
Like at 7.
Yeah, as long as we don't have nothing severe.
No.
Man, that's some of that stuff in West Virginia. Have you seen, they got a month's worth of rain in 25 minutes.
They are all of
Wow.
these red states are going nuts.
They don't have
There's
any FEMA help.
No FEMA, and I mean, yeah, West Virginia.
Is it just me, or has there been a lot of rain in the Atlantic coast, kind
Yeah.
of that corridor?
No.
It just seems like there's been a
No,
ton.
there's been a lot of rain and storms
On the East
and-
Coast.
Yeah, and they're not getting. There's no FEMA. I mean, there's still some people at FEMA, but they're not down there. And now the governors are afraid to say, to attack the administration.
They're blaming it on Spotify.
Well,
is
then
what I
they're
hear.
idiots.
Yeah,
They're blaming Spotify.
Then they're idiots.
Well, it's like Arkansas, the one that looks like Lurch.
Huckabee.
No, she looks like Uncle Fester.
Well, she also wears things that look like shower curtains.
Yeah, but anyway, she can't get any help. It's been destroyed by storms.
And I give her credit. She is asking.
Yeah, she's asking
But
for
she's
it,
asking for the hand that just...
But she's not... Well, he said no. He told her no after she just went out to all these stops and supported him.
His belief is that states should be able to fix
well,
their own mess. It
well,
just doesn't work that way.
No, that's why they created FEMA.
Yes.
FEMA.
Uh-oh.
In the morning.
Uh-oh.
FEMA all day. No, we're saying FEMA.
Spotify's like, there they are again.
Satiric.
They're going to put us
Have
on...
they learned nothing?
I'm going to be put on double secret probation.
Yeah, but in like 5 years.
Yeah.
They'll take you down in 5 years.
There you go.
All right. Well, we're going to go fill out that form for Pat. And thanks for listening, everybody. I believe we've got some police reports coming up with Captain Steve and Tommy Lang. Hawkfanatic.com. Check it out. It's free.
KCJJ Weather, brought to you by